programs, but park and rec programs, and in general, the space itself, again, is definitely functional. Our bleachers are really in very poor condition, as you can see, and we've replaced, as best we can, but you can see that it's slated to definitely, be worked on continually, and they get pulled out. But overall, the space itself is okay. I did want to come into the auxiliary gym. And in the DIAS report, they talked about the roof, and the roofs are pitched, and at certain points, there's areas where it leaks.
Is this a leaking?
Being one of them, yes. So even while the accreditation was going on, during that time there was some rain. Generally the buckets of water that, the buckets that we put here pretty much fall in these areas. It gets pretty bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Any issues with mold?
Not that we've established as something that needs any type of remediation. I don't think that there's mold in there. If there was, they would remove it.
They're not, if the school gets built, it's going to be 5 years. They're not going to leave this like this for 5 years, are they?
No. I mean, we've definitely tried to patch it as we can, and that's basically what we do. And the last winter was pretty harsh on us.
Has there been a schedule of things that, I know you're having that conversation, of items that need to be addressed during the 5-year construction period?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There are a number of things that were, notwithstanding building a new facility, would have to take place.
Yes.
Under normal
Yeah,
circumstances.
either way, it's either here or in this.
However, as what I was indicating with regard to the roof is that the roof structure itself is in good enough shape that the life of it can be extended beyond the 20 years. We'll need patching, we'll need, spot stuff. But part of the issue here has to do more with the way the roofs come together. And so it's not the roof per se, but how the building was.
Is there an add-on?
The design,
Oh, yeah.
it's a design flaw.
This wing was added to this, or this wing was added to the existing ones?
This was part of the original. This one was added.
Added on.
Add-on.
And there were other pieces. When you look at it from above, you can see there. I think we decided there are 7 or 8 different levels of roofs that come together, and some are flat, some are angled, some are partially pitched.
I saw the
It's
schedule
a hodgepodge.
of different increments of where the construction and the
Correct.
expansion have taken place.
Right. Well, every one of those have a different roof line.
Okay.
At very minimally, everyone has a different roof line.
Can I ask a question? Have you received, I'm presuming, because the report was issued, and I probably should know this, what were the estimates for the renovations? If the new school is not built, what were the estimates for getting the renovations for this school done? To get it in, the roof repaired and or replaced?
Just basic code compliance, like not doing anything else, but just updating what needed to be updated.
Okay, let's start there, yeah.
Okay. So
I gotta look, because I don't remember them off the top of my
I
head.
think Lynn probably has that, don't you?
But I don't think they address just repairs.
Yeah.
one of
And-
the options did in the early
With a
report.
number, I didn't
believe
see.
so,
'Cause I only
yeah.
saw renovation.
Because I'm just trying to get, trying to get a fix for, looking at all the different options, what would the minimal cost be? And then let's say, let's say that it was defeated for whatever reason, and then it's like, okay, but to make it functional for the now and the next 10, 15 years or something, what really needs to be done and how much would that
That
cost?
cost.
Do you have those numbers?
They went through and provided.
That was part of the initial
Yep.
study, yes.
That's not in the Gilbane report, though. That's prior to Gilbane?
No, that's part of, isn't that part of the Gilbane report?
Yeah.
That was
Is that
part of
in
the-
That was
Gilbane?
part of
Do
the
you know?
options.
I don't
do you know
think
what
so.
that is?
I didn't see it either.
I'm just trying to get a number.
I think what we saw was renovate the whole place, renovate part of it, or build something new. I don't think we really saw anything in there that said What would it be if you just were going to maintain it? Now, the key thing to know about maintenance is that there's probably no matching funds from the state.
Right.
So, maintenance is, up to us.
And the fact that the numbers in terms of not only the roof, but just some major renovations that are coming along that would add that number up. And then thinking about, okay, so what is that going to match in terms of the next 20 years?
Exactly.
What other number are we looking at
Right.
along the line?
Right.
And so
Because
when they started looking at those, I think that's where it got.
Right, I mean,
without
if you're
doing
looking at
anything, if you just
spending-
updated code, I want to say that it was in, it was close to $18 million just for code compliance. But
Okay.
I think just the roof alone sticks as 5 million.
5 mil.
Right.
Really?
Yep.
But then you have the design flaws that you don't.
Not correct.
Yep.
I don't have that in my book. The final report did not include the
Just
just doing code, but we do have some numbers, on the initial study that was done. But we had created, as you saw in the report, I think there are 8 different options for where we would go. And the ones that were specifically for code stuff were ruled out as not being realistic.
Okay.
In terms of where to go with this particular building. Because once you start playing with it, there were too many unknowns
Okay.
that number may or may not have been a good number.
And do you have the number for what the renovations would be? Let's say not just the bare bones up to code, but what the recommended renovations?
They were in the report, so like.
They were in the Gilbane
Right.
report?
They renovated different square footage.
Yeah.
So the minimum square footage, it was like 42 million, something like that.
Okay.
And then it went up with
But then
square
for
footage.
And the funding.
that was the renovators new, correct?
They were all renovated new.
Right, but then there's that
There was
piece
a-
about,
there was a
you get less
renovation
money
new
from the state based on
that would
renovators
have
new.
been,
So-
Which they would tell us to decrease our footprint if we wanted reimbursement by such a number. And in order to reduce the footprint here, it would actually create probably fewer classrooms, because the most cost-efficient way to actually probably reduce the footprint on this building is to take one of the appendages, because it kind of sprawls out. And so they talked about removing the entire English wing, which we're talking about 8 classrooms, would be the least cost,
Now, are those the newest probably that you demolish?
No, actually, it's not, but it would be, and I'll show you where it's located. But I said, oh my gosh, that would be, and then again, you're looking at a scenario in which you're limiting what you already have. It's a very vast building, but now you're talking about space that's value space, not unused space,
Okay.
that you're taking away.
And you're looking at what, do you have any idea what the demolition cost?
Yes.
Yeah, they're in there.
They're in the report as
It was
well.
$4 million.
But
It was
I-
$4 million.
But when you look at the 6 or 7 options that were originally thrown out, that were originally included, one was to bring the building down to 113,000 square feet, which would have been a demolition of 53,000 square feet, which, as Keri has indicated, would be far too small for us to be able to actually have academic programs. And that would have been a $36 million project, according to their numbers. The next, another contrasting option was to renovate the entire 160,000 square feet in total, and that was 52, almost 53,000, or 53 million. Then there was a renovate as new at 136, 134, 137,000. That was 43 million, rounding up. Renovate with some demolition at 125,000 square feet. That would have been $40 million. And then a brand new building at 113,000 square feet, 48 million. And a brand new building with the gym and auditorium, 118,000 square feet at 50 million.
50 million?
Yeah.
50
But none of those, even that 50 million is not on the new site. That's-
Right, that's all.
On the new site.
On the existing site. So that wouldn't include the cost of the new site
No, no.
or any,
Right.
or
No,
any
but it
septic
does
work or
include-
bridge work or
It
anything?
includes $4 million in demolition.
So there's pluses
Okay.
and minuses.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So those are offsets.
All right, okay, yeah.
I have a question on the code.
Sure.
I didn't read it. What is out of code? Or what is the